Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Indie Masked-Ningens, and today's video is gonna be about it's gonna be a discussion video. We're gonna be discussing all the differences. As you can see on my screen, Mappa as you might say. Mappa has added some filler scenes into the anime, into the Attack on Titan anime. So we're gonna be this is the Attack on Titan video. What a shocker, right? Well, all of mine have been Attack on Titan related, but yeah, so I'm sorry about that. But again, we're gonna be discussing some of the Mappa fillers that has been added into the anime, the first that we have seen in the first episode, and we're gonna be checking out all the differences in the episode and in the actual manga. So let's get right into it. Also, shout out to the guy, the Smart Titan. This is username here. This is his username. So on the Shingeki no Kyojin subreddit, he posted he posted the post discussing all the fillers added by the animation studio, by Mappa Studio. So this is basically where I got the inspiration. You can say I was gonna make this video. I was already gonna make this video, but the Smart Titan, the user Smart Titan, helped me a lot. Like, he basically inspired in a way and also gave me all the points I needed to make this video. So shout out to him. You can check out his post on the Shingeki no Kyojin subreddit. Wait a second. So this is the Attack on Titan Shingeki no Kyojin subreddit, where people can discuss whatever they want to discuss about Attack on Titan. This is where I got the post from the Smart Titan, user Smart Titan. So thank you to him, thank you to Shingeki no Kyojin subreddit, and let's get back to the video. The first filler we're going to be discussing about is this Falco scene. Falco, after being rescued by his brother Colt, is unconscious, or well, concussed, we can say, and Gabby, Sophia and Udo are trying to wake him up, are trying to help him regain his consciousness. So when he wakes up and he starts comprehending things, his first words are, one of the first words are, this is not clear, I'm really sorry about that, but yeah, we have to make do with this. Wasn't I flying around with a sword just now? So Falco here says that he was flying around around with a sword, which, well, if you saw the first episode, seems quite absurd because he was laying on the ground. So, so here's the actual manga page of the first episode. As mentioned in my previous video, the first episode covered 2 manga pages. So this is manga page number 91, manga chapter number 91, and here, by the way, if you want to check out the manga, you go to readsnk.com. I'll mention the link there. You can find the chapters there. So yeah, shout out to them. And yeah, so the first thing we see here, Gabby or Udo, I guess, or Sophia even, asks Falco, "Are you drunk, Falco?" And his reaction is, "What are we doing here?" His reaction is not what was in the manga, in the anime. His reaction is, "What are we doing here?" And if we move forward, Udo says these exact words in the anime: "We've been at war for 4 years. Do you remember?" And Falco's reaction is like he's out of it. He's not comprehending anything. So he's like, oh, I guess so. But his reaction was not, "I was flying around with the sword." Now, spoilers ahead. For anyone who wants to skip ahead to the next part, I'm gonna provide the timestamp, alright? So I don't spoil you with other things from the manga. So please go to this stamp right now. Thank you. And for those who have read the manga, this is a clear indication of Falco obtaining the Jaw Titan, and then also with the help of Zeke's spinal fluid, he being able to fly in the sky, thus having wings. What he means by the sword it's anyone's guess. We don't know what's happening in the manga, what's going to happen next in the manga. But for now, we know for sure after chapter 135 that Falco has the ability to fly. So this is that. So that reference of Falco saying, "Wasn't I flying around with a sword just now?" This is basically a foreshadowing to him in the future receiving the flying jaw titan, or the jaw titan that can fly, or whatever. And this is actually similar to, if you recall, episode 1 of Attack on Titan. Eren woke up having a dream, crying, in which he remembered that Mikasa had long hair, and he was having a nightmare. So obviously, if we put 2 and 2 together, we can understand that both Eren and Falco were having either the dreams of the future, or they were receiving memories from the past. So the next scene that was added as a filler was this one. This, not basically this shot, but the guy with Commander Maggot, which was, scolding Colt for not talking to him, in a very suggestive manner. Let's say he was trying to order Maggot. He was then seen ordering the other aliens, the troops, the soldiers, not the warrior candidates, and because the warrior candidates being Gabby, Falco, Udo, and Sophia, and even Colt. I guess he was in line to be the next warrior, or the warriors themselves, because they were in the blimp. But the normal alien soldiers, which were basically disposable to the Marleyan forces, they were the guy, the superior officer was seen ordering them to be ready for the next charge. And we can see people being in terror, being in shock, and quite literally there were people who had grenades around their bodies. They were ready to run into the Fort Slava, you can say, artillery, or the defenses of Fort Slava, with grenades around them, basically being suicide bombers, and trying to take down these trying to take down the enemy forces. These scenes were not in the manga. Hajime Isayama never showed these scenes where people were diving into the enemy fire with bombs around them, thus making the whole scenario, the whole situation even more morbid especially for the alien soldiers, who were used as, you can say, meat shields, or just disposable lives, which they were treated as just because they were the descendants of Ymir, or the devil. The next filler we are going to discuss is something which is pretty cool, and Mappa did a great job in adding it. And we actually anticipated it because, well, the moment in itself is Reiner's transformation, and we knew that they were going to make a transformation. They were just not going to skip on it because it's just a cool moment. It's such a hype moment, and we are all glad that Mappa did a great job in the transformation. This part right there, down here, it looks like Kirishima's, if someone follows My Hero Academia, Kirishima's Red Riot, and I think it looks incredible. It looks really cool, badass, if you want to call it. And if you see the manga panels of this, okay, so Reiner here saying the same things, location, number confirmed still, and again he thinks to himself about the other wall, and we have this flashback, not from this angle, from the above angle, from the higher angle, but the same flashback with the same evening display, and these are his exact words. And then we go into the next panel, we see him already transformed, so no formation of bones or the skeleton or the mass, nothing, just going down, thumping onto the wall of Fort Slava. And then we saw in the anime we saw the cool superhero Iron Man like pose of Reiner, but here we see him going right for the cannons, which happened in the anime as well. So that's something cool that Mappa did, adding this pretty awesome looking transformation. So thank you, Mappa. So the next thing we have to discuss, the filler we have to discuss, is a pretty big one. So I'm gonna use 3 different images to show the differences, because there are 3 actually big differences in the anime. So the first one is Rhino, when he's hit by the anti-Titan shells fired by the armored train, his hand is severed. So his hand, he loses one hand, right? As you can see in this panel, you cannot clearly see it, but yeah, he loses his left hand and is unable to use it for the rest of the fight. But this does not happen in the manga. In the manga, he gets shot by the Titan shells that go through his arm and shoulder, but that's it. That's the damage he takes. So if I can show you here, yeah. So he gets hit here on the arm and on the shoulder. Let me zoom in. Yep, arm and shoulder. So that's the only damage he takes. That's the only real damage he takes. And the next panel we'll be focusing on is this one, an armor train. There's another. This was our exact reaction. This was manga readers' exact reaction. Why? Because in the manga, if you give a good look, this was the previous panel. Rhino got shot. This is the next panel. Rhino's arms are not destroyed. First of all, again, we talked about it, and well, there's no other armor train here. So this was an addition by Mappa again for adding it just to bully Rhino, which is quite hilarious, honestly. But yeah, so there was no other armor train to destroy Rhino's arm. And this is where the final act begins, where Galliard basically saves Rhino from getting destroyed by this cannon, as we saw in the episode. Galliard saves Rhino, then the epic music starts, and then we move on to our next frame, and the next frame is this one, where you can see Rhino holding onto this train. So Rhino destroys the armored train by basically tackling it and destroying it, and then grabs it, and then protects himself from the anti-Titan shots fired by the cannons held by the 4th Slaver soldier or the enemy oppositions of Marley. And Rhino used the armored train itself to deflect or parry off those shells. So this was not in the manga, if we can have a look. So so after Galliard destroys the first cannon, he jumps off, and we can see this is Rhino's Titan, and he has not grabbed onto anything. He has grabbed onto nothing to parry off or deflect or protect himself from the shots. He basically goes for a weapon, as we're going to discuss in the next panel. And if you focus here, quite the funny line, you 4 Slaver soldiers, huh? Quite the funny line, yeah. So on to the next one. And the next panel we have is Rhino swinging the train itself. Rhino doesn't have his left arm, and Rhino is swinging the whole train. Now, there is swinging in the actual manga, if you can see. Rhino grabs onto a huge tower, right, this huge tower, and swings it around the walls, destroying the enemy artillery and the enemy defenses. He has his left hand, he doesn't have a train, but here he swings it, he has a train, and he doesn't have his left arm. So this is quite the difference from the manga to the anime, which Mappa basically added this difference, or you can't really call it filler, it's just a difference, right? So yeah, this was another one, I guess. On to the next one. The next addition in the anime, or the addendum in the anime, is basically a little more like showing off a little more of the aftermath of what happened, basically. So this is the Marley fleet, not the Marley fleet, the Allied forces fleet that was destroyed after Zeke's attack. And in the manga, I don't have it pulled up, so you have to take my word for it. They didn't really show it in this detail. It's not a big difference, but it's something nice to have to add into the anime, and Mappa did a great job about it. So yeah, on to the next one. As for the next panel we have, and this is a pretty huge one because this does not exist in the manga, and this character is an important character. So for those people who don't want to be spoiled about who he is and don't want to be spoiled about the upcoming events, please skip ahead. Yes, I would suggest please skip ahead. And for those who stuck around, well, this is John. This is our boy. This is our John boy. This is our stallion. This is our handsome stallion John. And for those who have read the manga and for those who want to be spoiled further, yeah, well, he's gonna play a huge part in the upcoming quote-unquote attack, right? This is Attack on Titan, so there will be attack. So he's gonna play a crucial role. So look out for him. And yeah, that was basically the final panel we have. Analyze or assess. I don't know what to call it. So yeah, on to the next thing we have. So the next thing we have is courtesy Armin Sama and the Alina James. I don't know who she is. I'm really sorry. I know Armin Sama because I follow him or her. I'm really sorry. So the next thing we have is basically a debunking of the first OP that we've got. Alright, so as you may know, it's infamous for being disliked by a lot of people, and well, the community is basically polarized. I personally love it. I love it, and so I don't really have a problem with it. And when I saw this subtle nuance that Mappa has added, my respect for them grew exponentially. So as you can see, this is the Colossal Titan, this is the Jaws Titan, this is the Warhammer Titan, and this is the Card Titan, this is the Attack Titan, and this is the Beast Titan. So Mappa actually drew these titans in the OP. So that's quite incredible in my opinion. Great job to Mappa for doing this, for adding this subtle nuances. And I guess we have a few more. I took my time to find them out, so let's discuss those. The first piece of subtlety or nuance that we are going to focus on, the next piece actually, are these ships. As you can see, these ships might resemble battleships that were actually reinforcements for the allied fleets, the allied forces for the Fourth Slava as they were being attacked. And these ships were the ones that attacked the Beast Titan, Zeke. They attacked Zeke. And these explosions can signify the explosions that were caused by Zeke himself by throwing those gunpowdered shots on them or whatever they were, right? So this is one thing we can see from the OP. The next frame we'll be looking at is this one. And if you look closely, you can see the whitish area would resemble the spine. If you play the opening theme with the video, you can actually clearly see it, that this is the formation of the spine of presumably a Titan, because this is Attack on Titan and we know that spines do play a huge role in Attack on Titan. So yeah, so this is the spine of the Titan. This white area is the spine of the Titan, and this red area can be the mass that is forming, the skin that is forming on the Titan. So this is another subtlety that I found. I guess other people might have found it. Obviously, it's not really something which is very hidden. So yeah. And on to the next frame, and we see birds. If you watch the video, the birds are flying downwards. The birds you can see are falling. And if you recall Falco's dream, and if you don't know, Falco actually, I guess it means bird. It actually means bird, like the name Falco actually means bird. I'm not 100% sure about the exact etymology, but I know that Falco somehow resembles a bird. So Falco looking at the bird is basically, in a way, another symbolism. If you're a manga reader, it's just foreshadowing, but yeah. So as you can see, birds are falling. So if one thinks about it deeply, you can also connect it to this, people falling. So maybe this was, different way that birds are also falling and people are also falling symbolizes the what were the things like the aliens falling from the sky, and then these may be the birds or the aliens, the actual people that were falling from the sky, and these where is it? These lifeless eyes of the people, maybe the titans that transformed after Zeke's road. So this is how I look at it. You might think that those birds are simply birds, going for a dive or something. I don't know. So yeah, on to the next one. The next panel we'll be focusing on is this one because it's something small, but I just want to maybe, increase the time of the video, I guess, waste your time. I'm really sorry about that. So yeah, the next thing here is if you look at this tower, and if you recall the panel I showed you about Reiner swinging the huge tower around, maybe these are the forces of Fort Slava, because the Fort Slava had these towers in the manga at least. So maybe these are the Fort Slava soldiers. Could be, possibly. Before discussing this specific panel, I just wanna why I did actually discuss the whole OP with you, the first opening theme song with you, is because as I previously mentioned and as news has been going around, the first OP will change might change according to the new episodes. So as the episodes move further and further along with the timeline, and we get newer episodes, the OP might show other things in the visual department. The song will remain the same, and I'm glad it remains the same, but the visuals of the OP might change according to the episode. And I discussed this in the previous video, so if you want to check that out, you can do that. And as for the panel itself, the current panel, if you look pretty closely, yep. Can you see it? Can you guys see it? I can see it. And for those who cannot see it, well, this is probably one of the 3 walls on the Paradise Island. To me, this looks like one of the 3 walls that were used to keep the aliens of the Paradise Island away from the outside world. The walls being Maria, Rosie, and Sheena. And maybe this is something of a symbolization of what's going to come in the future. I'm a manga reader, so I don't really know the things that are going to happen. So maybe you can take a wild guess. This is my wild guess, honestly. This may be nothing, this may be something. So yeah, to me this looks like the walls of Paradise Island. And the final thing we have to discuss is, shout outs to Shingeki no Weird Ass Noses, I guess. Funny name, and I don't know if it's a he, she, or them, I don't know. So, and also to the Twitter handle Attack on Fans. And new information that we have is Attack on Titan, the final season's episode 5 is scheduled to be broadcasted on the 10th of January, but not on the 3rd of January. So it has been postponed. Now, why is that so? Because of the New Year holidays. So there's a hiatus because of the New Year holidays. Well, normally the holiday season wouldn't be a big deal, but in Japan, the New Year's holiday is a pretty huge deal actually. It's actually a big deal in Japan, and I've heard it somewhere. I watch other YouTubers and they talk about Japan, and in Japan the New Year's holidays is one of the biggest times of the year. Unlike other parts of the world where you just say Happy New Year, make a resolution which we're never gonna accomplish, and then move on with our lives. But in Japan, it's a whole celebration. So that's why I guess the 5th episode has been postponed. And personally, this is one of the more funnier things to happen. Why? Because if you've watched my previous video, I talked about how if the first part of the final season is going to be only 16 episodes long, and if they're going to cover 2 chapters in each episode, the 5th episode might break the internet. Might. So this is a funny occurrence. So great job, I guess. Great job, Mappa Studio, or I shouldn't say Mappa Studio, but Japan. Great job for. I want to say thank you for doing this to us, because I want the anime onlys to wait for this. I really want them to wait for this. And the final thing I want to discuss, and there are a few things, and I'm sorry for keeping you guys hostages. Sorry about that, but yeah, I'm just gonna end it real quick here, and I want to discuss a few things. So first of all, shout out to AoT Wiki, Attack on Titan Wiki, for providing us with this information. So there's this. Yeah. So I'm sorry. First of all, Attack on Titan Chapter 136's official release date is January 9th. And it's normally on the 9th of every month that new chapters releases. If you don't know how manga chapters like Attack on Titan usually works, it releases on the monthly basis. Other animes like Demon Slayer used to release on a 2-week basis, a half a month basis, I guess, yeah, if I remember correctly. So yeah. So 9th January, 9th of every month, I guess, till the end of the manga will be the dates when the new chapter releases. The only time it was different was, as far as I remember, in the recent times, was actually on my birthday, 7th of August, and I was pretty hyped because I received a great birthday gift. Well, yeah, I guess it was chapter 132. Yeah, maybe, I don't remember. It was a great chapter. I love Attack on Titan, so most of the chapters are pretty awesome, because I try to enjoy the story as much as I could, even if it has some inconsistencies. I'm sorry. For the next Attack on Titan chapter 135 has officially been released. So the official release is finally out. So you can check it out on Crunchyroll. I tend to use Readsnk. So shout outs to them, and thank you for the great work they do. And for the final one, this is the preview image. We already got this image a while back, but you guys can see it here. This is Zeke, and this is Colt, and this is, well, spoilers, Maggot. This is his great head. This is his majestic head. And yeah, so Attack on Titan, episode 61, released next week on Monday, I guess. For people, it's going to be Monday normally, or Sunday, I don't know, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's going to release next week. And the episode title is Midnight Train. This is the preview image, and the summary and the staff list has been released. So if you want to check those things out, Attack on Titan Wiki is the place to go. So thank you to them. And this is where we end our video. I know it's a long one. I tried to keep it short, but I couldn't. I like to dilate my points. So I'm sorry about that. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.